Your first race goes off. You're talking about a little bit that got into your head. And then we have footage of, like, right at the beginning. I don't know where it's at in the race. It's a little bit into it where you get passed. And here's the footage of it. And I'm sorry if it puts salt in the wound for you. That's not our intentions. But for those that missed it, this is 29 seconds into your race. You're first in the red helmet, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I got the whole shot, and then Neil took a faster line coming out of the single track here and passed me. And I kind of tried to keep it conservative and just keep pace with him throughout all the features. And yeah, up until the single track, I was in second, and then coming around the second turn of the single track, I didn't really think it was wide enough to make a pass there, so I was still pretty conservative. It was super choppy in there, and so sometimes if you're too heavy on the front or on the back, you can kind of dip the nose over really choppy stuff. So I was playing it pretty conservative, and Thor snuck around me on the outside in that second turn.
And so I had watched you, what was it, right before this, was it the Western qualifiers where you got passed as well in that race? Isn't that the one you got passed in? Was it Western?
Yeah, I got passed both. Yeah, I got second Eastern, and then I got knocked out pretty early in Western.
Okay. So what, like, is there, for you mentally, when you get passed, are you like, I still have a chance, or do you get into your head going, oh no, I'm in a bit of trouble here, or do you feel like, nah, there's plenty of race still left? What's going through your mind when you get passed in those scenarios? These are big. Mercedes is just smiling at me. She's like, these are big questions.
Yeah, so specifically in this race, I got a little frustrated. I didn't think there was enough room to pass there, and Thor kind of edged me off my line when he passed. So after that happened, I was pretty much going full flat out, trying to chase him down. And,
and you have one more opportunity, right? And we have the video of it where it's the last berm, I think it is. Or you speak to it better than me because you were in it, but I believe it's the last turn. For the Silvas, this turn to me was not friendly all the time. But there it is. I just got to tell you, when I saw that, my heart it sank for you.
We were all screaming, "Oh
no, get out!" You should have heard. We should have filmed it.
We should have filmed
when you guys raced and Bodie raced. The house was on fire. The kids screaming. It was the most energetic thing ever. It was hilarious. Holly and I are laughing at all the kids. They are screaming at the TV because we don't get to see you, right? You fall and they cut away. We don't know what's going on. And we're just like, get up, get up. What happened there? You just get into loose gravel there, or are you just pushing it too hard?
Both. Yeah, it's super choppy right there, and I knew I wouldn't have been able to pass him coming out of that corner, so I pushed it as hard as I could into the corner, and my board kind of drifted to the right, and I couldn't get my body back over it.
Yeah, you fell backside, correct? Is that what right?
Yeah, board drifted my toe side a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's you have to take those risks when you're in the spot you are, right? You're running out of real estate to make a move, and you gotta risk it, or you'll regret that you did nothing, right? If you are too conservative and you're out, you gotta risk it, and
you gave it all, man.
Yeah, both of you did.
So remind me, Austin, were you at that spot? You were in second though, right? Or were you sitting in third at that spot? You were in third.
After passed me, yeah.
Okay, that's the part I couldn't remember because I was trying to think. Was I like, oh no, So as soon as we see the next shot of him passing, it's over, right? There's no
1 and 2 had already gone.
Yeah. So on the first heat, were you like, I was crushed for you, and I have no skin in the game outside. I'm a fan of yours, and I was crushed, and so were my kids because we were all picking our favorites of who we wanted to win, and so. On the male and female side, and you were a hot fave in the house, and I was like just bummed for you. Like, what did you have to pick yourself back up, Austin, or were you like, it's just a race?
I mean, I was a little upset with how I got passed by Thor, um, but maybe 5 minutes after the race, I was back to cheering my friends on and getting excited for the finals, semifinals, and finals.
So I do believe, like, they talked about that pass repeatedly as Jack and I don't remember the middle commentator, but Jack was commentating your race with, oh no, drawing a blank.
I don't know who she is either.
No, she was.
Guy?
Yeah, I'm.
Oh.
Anyways, they talked about, was it an illegal pass when he passed you? And so they sent it to the judges
to have reviewed, right?
Yeah, to have it reviewed, and so you had to wait here. You know, somebody was like, I was hoping it was, but then I was like, what do they do? What was the play? If it was an illegal pass, would they have told you that they would have been disqualified and you would have moved on then?
I'm not sure how it would have went. I actually went up and mentioned something to Thor, and Thor ran over and asked for a review. I would have rathered it not been reviewed because I don't want to be in the, I don't want him being disqualified. I don't want to have the race run over, but there's no good outcome for, if it was an illegal pass. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen. But yeah, basically when he passed me, he put an elbow on me and pushed me off my line a couple times.
Yes.
And,
that's where Jack kept saying, if you ain't rubbing, you're not racing, was what he was saying, which is fine in a car, I suppose. But I still think that's illegal. And again, if you're rubbing, it doesn't take much to get tapped on a one wheel to throw you off your line.
Sure.
And I don't know how you do that. I don't know if there's any way to. Do you think there's a way? I suppose if you pass in wider spots, then it would be easy to not bump.
You can set up a pass. You can see where someone's going. You can go outside, inside when they're going. If someone's entering a corner inside, you can enter outside and then take them on the out. Coming out of the corner. You can block past someone going into the corner and taking their line away. There's an art form to passing, and but that's something that'll get figured out over the next few years. It's a new sport, and we don't really know how much rubbing is necessary and what's aggressive and what's not. Thor's a really good friend of mine. No hard feelings. He comes from BMX, where they'll race 3 wide into a berm. So that was par for the course for him.
Yep.
So I think ORL's official ruling was like, you just can't have an open hand pushing someone else. So pretty much anything below that is acceptable.
Yes. I think, I get it, but if there was and again, we're here talking about it, not calling anyone that it was a dirty play, but you could see at some point with that rule, I can still push, I can be pretty strong with just an elbow to get somebody off a line, but then with that rule, I didn't extend, so it would be a legal move. But I guess you don't want to get away from there's no contact, because then it would be, somebody wrote in the chat, we'll make the
trails wider.
Trails wider. But that's just not always the case in trails I ride, at least. I know our trails that we built,
there's passing zones and there's not
there's
passing
places
zones,
you cannot pass. There's places that you can, but it's a risk. You have to go where the line isn't the best. Yeah, I get it. As a fan, I watched it. I've replayed it. That's why I've got just that. Let's play that clip. Thank you. I do want to say a big thanks to everybody that watches every week on our YouTube channel, our podcast, or you listen to it. Without you, what would be the point? It would be just us hanging out in here doing nothing. Subscribe to the channel as we try to pump out as much one-wheel content.